Hey everyone, Fatty from Pack a Punch Traders here. Just want to go over the last trading day of the week. It ended up being a red day for me, and first red week in a while. So let's just dive into today's trades and what I did wrong. So started off, main watches were SONM, what was pick, and this one ended up being a great play, great call on this one. And then GROM. GROM, that was a tough one. Did end up giving a solid move, but not what I had expected. And this was actually one of my losses today. I took two losses, one in the morning and one just now, barely. We'll get into them. SONM, we got this breakout over 132. It has 148 resistance from after hours the other day. And I just thought if we failed to break down, we could get back to the pre-market highs and take off. That didn't happen. Despite it being pretty low float, it just didn't really have the volume. So there wasn't just wasn't enough energy to take it higher. I broke some rules. I sized up, got in a little late, I would say. Breakout was 140. Like this isn't a horrible entry, but for the size I was having, I think it would have been just premature. Should have just stuck with a starter. But and this ended up being about $200 loss, 149, 2,000 shares out at 139 or 138, something like that. So that was just a great way to start the day. And then in the meantime, I see the play that I also had on watch on the side. One of my top three watches heading into the morning. Posted it on Twitter. Where are we at? Um, yeah, right here. Got these three. Just looking for breakouts and looking for a continuation if it fails to break down. That 6-2 buy was pretty good. This one was a little choppy, but did end up giving a solid move. And I think it was just choppy because there was more uncertainty compared to yesterday. There was definitely more shorts attacking it here today, expecting the 620 area to act as resistance. So when that failed to break down, we got a solid squeeze higher, but not enough volume. Just not enough. Could not continue higher. Went sideways with low volume, and then just started cracking from there on. So that was kind of crappy to see, but good to see that I had a decent call on it despite not playing it. Good to see that the thinking is there. Could have made money if I played it. So yeah, that was just my bad taking my eye off it. Then we have SONM trading it. I want to say kind of prematurely. I like to wait 15 minutes. I ended up getting in right around 10 minutes when I saw this perk and I saw it hold VWAP a bit. I was getting in, and that was just poor of me. I should have let it set up a little better. Less FOMO. That's definitely part of it. If it were a run without me, cool. I'm waiting for a specific setup, and I want it set up a certain way for me to enter comfortably, risk properly. Um, and yeah, here we are having a solid bounce here into the close. We'll see what we do next week on this, but yeah, just a poor trade, not enough volume, and just too much selling. Couldn't head it higher. So the other one was Grom here. Um, missed this play in the morning. Not too bad of a call for that 139 open price play, VWAP play. I thought we could break higher than the 170s because we did have 170 resistance, which I did mention. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I can touch 170s, 180s, and then after that, resistance is two, low twos. So I thought we would really take off considering the flow and volume and failure to break down. It could have been nice, and then it failed to break down majority of the day. I was just being emotional, not really recognizing that this has a downtrend at this point, not letting it set up a little better. So instantly smacked it a bit when it reclaimed VWAP. Went through all this BS, which I typically shouldn't. It would have just cut it when I saw it didn't work, and it held up. Added a little bit here on the VWAP reclaim here, not paying attention to the volume, noticing that it's very weak. So it was me just being emotional today, trying to make up for losses earlier as well. Oh, and I ended up taking again like 250 loss on this. So down a little under 500 today. Not that great, but big risk. I had big size and I allowed a wide risk, and it really screwed me. Ended up getting out at 135, average at 150. So that's a 10% loss. That's something I never really do. Um, yeah, that's just horrible. I usually like to cut maximum 5%. So I'm doubling it there. You can tell I'm emotional. I was really certain this was gonna hold and come back, but that was mainly because I really kind of butchered RKDA. I have it here. 1 second. Nope, not that one. Or not RKDA. Sorry, RDBX. This one, another breakout. Low flow, doing good volume. We got a breakout over the 230s here. And more importantly, we got the 270s as well, where there's more volume. So more eyes there, more people possibly to short it, which is or bet against it if they're selling, if they've been bag holding. Now they're finally break even and they sell. So we get this solid move with the breakout right through it. Fails to continue, not enough volume quite yet, and then it fails to break down, and it makes that um, initial 230s, 225 ish breakout level to support now. So we got that simple, keeping it simple video lesson from the other day. It was just like this. You got the breakout, doing good volume, doing in the right direction. It's, got solid trend, and shorts are failing to take it down. And it's just that simple sometimes. And I fail to let it be. I overcomplicate things. I'm spreading myself too thin, looking at many stocks just because of FOMO. So that's why this week ended up being red. So that's not that great, but it's all good. We'll come back. But here we go. I was calling this also on the live stream on Tradecaster as a potential play to touch three, possibly four, because after the whole dollar, half dollar level of three, next level is gonna be 350, four, and then we got resistance up here around five. I like to play things conservatively, so I was just thinking past the high a day, just a quick, roughly 10% move from there, um, or 15ish, something around there. That's possible. That it could definitely do that if there's enough momentum. It failed to break down here, as we can see. The 275 area became support, and with solid volume continuing in, and it just, even though it's tight here, you can see it keeps making higher lows. Doesn't want to head lower, and the volume keeps coming in, and that leads to another short squeeze. It just took off. So solid play there. um, yeah, just want to go over my red day, my poor trading, some great calls, but just didn't act on them, and that led to me being emotional and taking a loss on GROM. So yeah, not the greatest way to end the week, but it's all good. I want to rest up this weekend, study up, and we'll come back Monday ready to attack. I'll make a video lesson, if not later today, sometime this weekend, going over the whole week and my stats and everything. So that's Friday. That here we go. That's the day. 102 now, so market's closed, or 402 if you're watching this from the East Coast. Muln, did I go over this? Muln was a great previous high day break as well. Completely failed to break down. Once again, very similar to PIK, just that choppy move past high a day or previous high a day. You got the confirmation here a little bit, yeah, and you got a solid push. But then you get the better confirmation when it makes a higher low, holding VWAP, still holding previous high a day, and you get the move to the low threes, but still nothing great just because of the choppiness. I would have been very stressed playing this if I were to play it, but just to get an idea of the general pattern and the psychology behind it. Oh, and one thing that I liked about, what do you call it, pick, I was very confident in that previous high at daybreak because it just looked very familiar to what I got going on with my background with Kexin, Kxin. This was like a year and a half or a year ago. I forgot. But we got this solid move here, taking off 100 something, 200%, whatever it was. Then it just fades. Shorts get trapped, but it keeps holding this key level of 2. Psychological level, whole dollar, half dollar, and it fails to break down. Next day, it takes off pre-market, and high day is right below the previous high day. Excuse me, the pre-market high is right below the previous high day. So when it fails to break down here and it comes back and it consolidates right near that previous high on some good volume, as you can see here on the bottom, it's a recipe for disaster for shorts. Um, in this case today with picks, seems like there wasn't that many shorts to really make it take off for another day, but there was enough momentum to squeeze them. What, 620 to 7? You're getting 20%. Yeah, you get 20% or so. So that's not bad at all. Uh, so yeah, that's Friday for you guys. Hope there's some takeaways, especially from my poor trading, how to not trade and get emotional, and also let plays develop. Be patient. Don't get FOMO. Let them develop, and once they create a range, trade the range. And when they pick a direction, it starts making higher lows, solid volume continuing in. When it breaks that high, shorts are going to get squeezed, and more buyers are going to come in chasing it. So keep it simple. That's kind of the lesson again. And don't get FOMO. FOMO was a bitch this week for me. So yeah, we'll just wrap it up. Please like or subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Twitter, also on Tradecaster as well. I'm doing this new thing with live streams. So yeah, check it all out. Hope this was helpful, and I hope you guys have a great day and weekend.